Good evening. Personal encouragement. In the time of the Bible, the way of encouragement was only possible in two ways. Encouragement was given in person and or letters were written. We find a good example of this after the church's joint decision in Jerusalem regarding the accommodation of the Greek-speaking believers. They make a decision with a view to encourage. And then we read the following. It's in Acts 15, verse 22. The apostles and the elders, together with the whole congregation, decided to send people from their ranks with Paul and Barnabas to Antioch. They chose Judas, who was also called Barsabbas, and Silas, men who enjoyed the esteem of the believers. They sent the following letter together. And then later in the chapter, verse 30, we read, So when they were sent off, they came to Antioch, and when they had gathered the multitude together, they delivered the letter, and when they had read it, they rejoiced over its encouragement. And now Judas and Silas, themselves being prophets also, exhorted and strengthened the brothers with many words. And after they had stayed there for a time, they were sent back with greetings from the brethren to the apostles. Today there's a wider variety of ways in which encouragement can take place. We no longer send letters, at most emails. However, short messages via WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram are most commonly used in our communication. We can send messages immediately, simply to a multitude of people at once all over the world. Voicemails are becoming more and more popular. It's so much less effort to send, well, not necessary to listen to. It is even more personal because you can hear the person's voice. And then there are the means by which we can hear and see other people. Real encounters happen in this way, via Zoom or WhatsApp video calls or YouTube messages, like tonight. And then there is the way where an even larger part of our humanity is involved, when we personally and physically meet with one another, where we can observe one another in their whole being, not just their faces and their voices. More senses are involved in these encounters. We see one another, we hear one another, we touch one another, and we can even smell one another. Greater possibility of encouragement opened in these times through technology. The world became small. These different ways of communication means should not be seen as competing or opposing one another. Gratefully, we can use them to encourage one another. Only these meetings and these greetings must be personal. Group messages, for instance, do not bring the same encouragement. To use them means selfishly or self-centered because it asks less of me personally, or to hide behind technology does not help the other. It does not encourage. You see, you are needed to encourage me, and I to encourage you. Behind the message, the letter, the email, the WhatsApp, there must be a relationship. In the case of the congregations in Antioch, the message of the letter was encouraging, but the conversations between Judas and Silas and the congregants was encouraging and strengthening. The two means goes hand in hand. I can't get to each of you tonight. It's impossible. However, it is possible by listening to the sound or listening to the sound and looking at the image. I am so grateful to be able to meet you tonight. May you, with this meeting, be encouraged and strengthened to encourage one another. It was nice to be able to drop into you tonight. Good night, dear brother and sister in Christ.